And with that, hello everybody to another Street Sound Hash podcast. That one was a doozy. Amazing. Live from Brazil and the Netherlands, we bring you another podcast.
Street Sound.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. You had topics. Also, I had an idea because we're talking about ASL off and on. So, spoiler warning, we're going to be talking about the round of 4 of the latest season. And thanks to Tasteless, who created a nice compilation of stuff from the round of 4, we're just going to steal that video. And that way I don't have to remember what went on in the matches because it's right in front of us. So I thought that's a brilliant idea. So I'm going to press play. Yes.
I'm not happy with this round of 4.
You weren't? No, because I'm on track to be.
Protoss guy lost.
Yeah, I'm on track to being right. Mine is going to win. Mine is going to win. I'm going to be right.
That's true.
And you're wrong because you said that the other guy, Mind, right? Best was going to win, right?
Yeah, but I didn't bet any money.
Yeah.
If I had to bet,
you lost your honor.
You
lost
your honor. I would bet something else. No, I didn't. I didn't lose my honor.
Your honor.
I have an intact honor for being a Protoss guy, even though Protoss is the worst race.
Yeah. So.
So.
Why did you? I wanted to test something before the recording. I didn't get to it, but I have a theory as to why Best lost this this series. So what did you think of the series?
I don't know. My opinions on the series are very influenced by whatever Tasteless and Arctos say on the thing on the video. I've been watching that KCM thing that is just Korean people talking, and I've realized that I get a very different impression from the matches. Like I have to think on my own instead of just hearing whatever Arctos is saying.
Yeah,
I think it's more interesting.
Yeah, they say it's funny. The Koreans they say meh a lot. Meh, meh, whoa, meh. It's like they're They don't say they say Oh, Blagu. Yeah, it's I used to watch the Korean stuff as well because that was before we had the nice Tastos and stuff. It's really nice to have them as a commentator because they're I guess Artosis is good.
It's entertaining.
Yeah,
Artosis knows things. Tasteless just repeats whatever Artosis says.
Tasteless is funny. Tasteless is funny. He's amusing. He's good for the dynamic between the two, and then Artosis is actually useful.
No, Tasteless says some good things.
It was
especially about Protoss sometimes. Yeah.
It was really funny. Was in the second round of 4. At some point, the Terran player he was wrecking a bunch of mutas, and then Tasteless was talking about something, and it just happened on the screen, and he just kept talking. I was like, "Shut the fuck up, Tasteless! He's killing all the mutas." And then after like 5 seconds, they're like, "Oh, no, he killed all the mutas." I was like, "Yeah, you just paid fucking attention." Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that specific part. It was in the last game, right?
No, was it in the first or was it in the last? Oh, I don't know. No, it was the first match. It was the first one of the round of 7. In any event, so thank you, Tasteless, for letting us.
Round of 7. What is the round of 7?
Sorry, not the round of 7. The best of 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you, Tasteless, for shamelessly letting us steal this content, which is obviously fair use because we're doing something else with it, which is ignoring it the entire time and talking about other stuff. So,
well, it's on the internet. It's free.
Yes,
we can do anything we want. That's how it works. Really.
Pirate life for me.
There's no such thing as intellectual property.
Yeah. So
So
you failed to advertise.
why did best uh, lose?
Oh.
We're going to have say your theory.
Yeah. He didn't have any upgrades. So he
Every time.
yeah, every time he only had attack upgrades, and the thing with Mind was he was really on top of his upgrades, so he got to 3 attack, 2 armor really fast, and especially the 3 attack is really important because the splash. It's basically if you have 3 attack upgrades on your mech army, and the Protoss has like 0 armor or shield or whatever, then the army becomes really squishy really fast. Because of the splash damage, because of tanks. So tanks, they hit the target, that's 100% damage, or at least depending on the unit type. So for Dragoons it's 100%, and I think for Zealots it's 25 or 50%. But not for shields. Shields take 100% damage regardless of the attack type. So, and then they have a splash radius, which is 3 levels, so everything right next to the target gets 100% splash damage, everything next over gets 50%, and then everything next to that gets 25. And that's where it starts to ramp up in terms of armor, because the tank does 85 damage, so having armor or upgrades on 85 damage is not going to help you a lot. But on 25% of that, then the armor upgrades do make an impact. Same goes for the Vultures. They start to do 25 damage to the Zealots, because they also have base 1 armor anyway. So they, by the time, if you get the Protoss army coming in on a sieged army with maybe some mines and a bunch of Vultures, the Zealots are already hammered when they get close, and then just the Vultures clean them up too fast for them to actually have any impact. And the idea there is that you get enough Zealots in order to just push through.
He did too many Zealots.
Yes, well, but it ultimately it doesn't. At some point, it just doesn't work.
Doesn't make like they were all dying.
Yeah, because it's because it just at some point it just doesn't work. I mean, if there are too many tanks and Vultures, your army just melts.
Yeah, but I see. So you think he's really dumb after 20 years playing? He doesn't know about
it.
These
Was
things.
weird because it was very dumb, right? It was almost like it's almost like I'm Goku, and the only way to win is just punch harder, right? It's like he did the same thing over and over again.
That's how he won all the other games.
Yes, but that's the point. It's like Mind knew that.
Did he get updates? Did he get like upgrades on the other games, on the previous?
Only attack upgrades. I don't know, but I think like Mind, he played into Mind's game in the sense that Mind knew that was what he did the other games.
Yeah, and he kept doing.
And he just kept doing it. It was really, really weird. So, but I guess the other time, I think this was Mind. Mind got really far another time as well, right? Didn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh, then it was a different. No, I'm thinking of another. Never mind. I don't know these guys.
Never mind.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes, that's very funny. So,
very.
You failed to advertise our brilliant and wonderful, high-value, quality podcast. Yes.
I don't think we did.
Yes, when you were at Bitcoin Review.
Oh, really? I don't want people to listen to this.
Yeah, me neither.
We should even have a different name for this podcast.
But the podcast doesn't even have a name.
I mean, my name is there.
Oh, you should have another name for the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's too late now. And you made a shitcoin. So let's talk about your shitcoin.
I didn't make a shitcoin. What do you think about my shitcoin? I made a thing called Soma, which is clearly not a reference to the StarCraft player Soma. I guess people think it's a reference to some game that I had never heard about. There's a game called Soma, something like that. But it is a. Are you there? You're not saying anything.
I am not. I'm listening to you. You're talking about your Soma. I can interject because Soma is also the food of. Right?
It's a vegetable. I think it's one of those religions that people eat the vegetable.
Oh, I see. There's other stuff.
But I don't know. I didn't make any reference to anything.
Okay.
But so it's a space chain, which is Ruben Sonsen technology, loved by you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your cousin stuff.
Yes.
And it allows you to make a blockchain without a shitcoin. And the one I made was just the most boring, simplest thing I could. It's just you can mint an NFT and transfer it to other people. But it's a real blockchain. I'm blockchain technologist now.
How did you build it? What did you use? Did you build it from scratch, or did you?
No, I built it from scratch. I use libraries. I wrote everything in Scala. There's a bunch of moving parts. One is the actual blockchain, which is written in Scala, and it compiles to JavaScript and it runs on Node.js, and it uses the hypercore. Have you heard about these things? Hypercore. It's that technology that.
Isn't that IBM?
Synonym.
Synonym.
No.
Okay.
You know Synonym?
Yeah.
They're using this hypercore thing, which is a peer-to-peer library for sending things from peer-to-peer. And I'm using that to send the blocks between the nodes on the blockchain. And it uses the C Lightning for the miners. Like it uses the wallet from C Lightning to publish any private transactions that contain the hash of the space chain block to the Bitcoin chain, which is on Signet. And then it uses also C Lightning for receiving payments. So if you're running, look at these zealots. The guy's making like a million zealots. So yeah, you're running your space chain. You want to publish a transaction to your space chain. So you need to find a miner, and the miner is a guy running C Lightning with the special plugin. And then you talk to that miner, you send your transaction to him, he includes it on the block, and then takes the hash of the block, tries to publish on the Bitcoin chain using any private to fit the transaction in the pre-established list of sequence of transactions that define this space chain. And there could be many miners, and they all compete to see who will be the next one to publish a transaction. They compete using RBF. So you pay fee to the miner using Lightning. The miner holds the Lightning payment, doesn't resolve the payment until it manages to finally publish the block that contains your transaction. When it does
wait, who compiles the block?
The miner.
But then there are a bunch of competing blocks.
There are a bunch of competing blocks.
Okay, and they all signal. So in the format it defines like what block height it is, I guess.
No,
so
the blocks on the space chain, they have a reference to the previous block.
Yeah. Okay.
And including them on the Bitcoin chain, they to be considered mined, instead of having enough proof of work, they have to have their hash in the Bitcoin chain. And in the specific place, there's designed to have these things, which is
and they have to be
sequence of transactions.
And they have to be first.
Yeah, no, they have to be there, and they have to be first. No, actually, Like you could have splits on the space chain. If someone publishes the hash of an invalid block, then the space chain miners will realize that block is invalid, and they will send the next Bitcoin transaction will have a hash of the block, and this block will say, oh, my parent is not that previous block that is invalid. My parent block is the previous one, which was valid.
It explicitly states the invalid block as well?
No, it ignores the invalid block.
Right. Okay, but that's not really that important. So because that's ultimately client side, right? You're just running through the chain. And
everything is client side. Like client, by client you mean like the space chain node.
Yes.
Is checking these things. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have to be first. So if some random miner includes 2 space chain blocks, how does it resolve then? Just who's first on the list from top to down, top to bottom?
You can include 2, like you include one and then include the other one. But you mean they're 2?
They're in the same block. They're 2 transactions.
You mean space chain transactions?
Yes, in the same block. How does it resolve then? Just who's first, or just like because?
Well, this is like in my dump blockchain.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to send the same asset twice in the same block. That's invalid.
No, I mean the space chain block. So the space chain block hash thingy, 2 of them get published in the same Bitcoin block.
You can't do that either. You can't do that either.
Of course you can't do that.
No, you can't. You didn't read the space chain. You didn't see the space chain video from Ruben Sonson, right? That's why you hate it.
No, a miner can do whatever he wants. You can, of course, you can.
No,
a Bitcoin miner can
block. No, because you have to publish the space chain hash in this predefined sequence of transactions. All the transactions, they are pre-mined, pre-signed. Pre-signed.
Yeah.
They're actually not signed. Whatever. Yeah, they are pre-created, and each one spans from the previous one, and they have a CSV value of 1, not CSV, n sequence value of 1.
Yeah.
So they must wait 1 block for the next one to be published.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
And then anybody could make a variant of the next transaction, which would be the next space chain block.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone can take these pre-calculated transactions and then they add an op return with the hash of the space chain. They add an input from themselves and a change to themselves. But the first input and the first output, they are there. They can't be changed.
Okay. And why would anyone do this?
Well, you can do all the nice blockchain things you want. Like
Such
people
as?
have been such as assets. You can issue assets.
Okay.
You can issue fiat coins and or other stuff, utility tokens, NFTs, name tokens, basically.
Okay. So you're offloading. So you're running a server, and you publish the intermediate states of the server. You anchor those to the Bitcoin blockchain.
No, not at all. No, there's no intermediate states.
Yes, there are. That's what blocks are.
No, they are. Yeah, you could call them that. But it's exactly like Bitcoin.
Yes.
It's a block. You mine the block.
Yes.
And the contents of the block, they're propagated.
I get that, but you're
okay.
Okay, so but the thing with Bitcoin is that there is an incentive to do it, or there is supposedly an incentive to do it, which is the Bitcoin itself.
The Bitcoin that you get from the block.
Yes, and then there's another property to this linked list, is proof of work, which makes it like which is a coordination scheme which the proof of work itself is like a signal function in order to get global coordination on the fact that we're looking at the same thing. So you don't have to do that because that's what Bitcoin is already doing. So you're doing that, but ultimately you are still running.
Publish.
Yeah.
The incentive to publish is you're a miner. You take
you're
fees.
You're not a miner. You're
You can call it a miner. Yeah, you call it a miner because it's analogous to the Bitcoin mining.
I don't see why is it analogous. What kind of effort does the spacechain miner have to do?
It doesn't do effort, but it does the same function that the Bitcoin miner does. It builds the block, and it makes it so that block is accepted by everybody else as the next block, and it publishes the block. These three functions are the same. The only difference is instead of hashing like a crazy person, you publish to the Bitcoin chain.
Okay.
So you can take.
Are we calling every single server now? So is Facebook a miner?
Okay. I get your point, but there are many more parallels between these Bitcoin and space
yes,
chains.
because they're both using linked list. They're not using SQL. They're using a linked list. They're using they're using a batch linked list. That's we call a blockchain. That's what we're doing.
No, it's the space chain is decentralized. It is
okay.
The miner doesn't control everything. It just mines that block. It has no power over the rest of the stuff.
No, it has no power over the signatures that are used within the blocks.
Yeah, and the miner it can just die, and another miner will replace that.
I see.
Easily.
I see.
Yeah. You can say Facebook is a miner. It's a miner on the Facebook chain.
Yes.
It's the only miner. Okay.
Oh, this is the Mutalisk part, by the way. We almost skipped through it ourselves.
In the last game, they also killed them all the Mutalisks the same. Like he just threw like 1 million radiate.
Oh, but wasn't it in that was the 76 game, right? Right?
The 76
yeah, that
game
one was
the
crazy.
best one.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved that series. Yeah, it was good. This was a good series.
Unfortunately, we got TVT on the finals.
No, that's amazing because I love TBT. I'm so hyped. I'm so happy. It's funny, like Tasteless and Artos were like, yeah, well, TVT modernized and it's not like that sluggish anymore, and they were just like, stop talking bullshit. TVT is awesome. Nobody like.
But Artos likes TVT.
Yes,
right?
it's the best matchup. Because it's the best matchup.
I remember one of these ASL games. I think it was last season or the previous one. That they had a bunch of interesting games, PVT, PvP, PvZ, whatever, I don't know. And then the last one was a series of 3 TVT, best of 3 TVT games. And then everybody just stand up and started leaving the place. And they were showing like half of the audience going away. Yeah.
It's like rough. It's if you have a ZVZ for a finale, that would suck. That it would be very short. Then it's like, okay, after half an hour we're done. You get a lot of commercials.
Very boring also. It's not just short. It's tedious. It's just Ugnies running around, and I never know who is winning.
the person who killed the first circling, that's the person that wins. Haha! I have more circlings now. I won.
Okay,
yeah,
why don't you like space chains? Oh yeah, I when people say space chains, they
okay,
they
so
remember the Ruben Sonson videos when he talks about having a one-way peg and creating a space coin by burning the Bitcoin. I don't like that stuff. Do you like that stuff?
No.
No.
No. So one question: why not just run not a blockchain, but okay? So then it's okay. So it's okay. Then it's centralized and it's owned, right? But I think well, I first have to finish my thought. So why not just run a server and timestamp the um, the stuff you're doing on the server? And the answer would be is like, well, this is decentralized, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I was
but
trying to think of a better answer because that's boring. But yeah, that's the answer.
yes, that is the answer. But then my response is like, yeah, but all the decentralization it's ultimately bullshit because what's the incentive? I mean, I can get it for like there's an incentive for a particular party to say I'm going to run this server, and I'm going to add value to people by doing that they can do stuff on my server. I can get that, but what's the
Well,
so
there's a very stupid incentive that is the miner takes fees and like you can pay the miner 100 satoshis to mine a transaction and it only pays like
yes, I get
90
that.
to
I get that.
Bitcoin and
Yes.
takes
Okay,
10.
I get that.
But
But
that could
why
be
would
other
anybody
things, like,
use
for
your space
example-
chain? What's the point of using the space chain?
Well, for example, some people from Bitfinex were interested in space chains. In the when the idea first came out, they wanted to issue their USDT there. I think it would be a much cleaner solution than using any of these shitcoins. And
Mm-hmm.
another solution is just this stuff that I did, like just NFT crap. I don't know why people like NFTs, but I'm sure some people would like NFTs on space chains as long as they had a lot of ugly
Sure,
images
just hand the idea to Mike in space, and I'm sure he can hype it up.
I'm sure these crazy people can talk to other crazy people
Uh-huh.
and come up with something. The other idea is like there are all these. I don't know about this, but apparently there are game developers that want to issue tokens on games, but they do these things on Ethereum and whatnot. But it's stupid, right? You don't need to use Ethereum for that, and you could have the incentive would be these game companies and game studios each would run a miner for their users, but they could cooperate and have a single big chain that is not owned by any one of them, and the chain just gets there and it stays alive, and new people come, new studios come, and they add to the network effect of that chain. That's something that the Zebedee people were interested in, but yeah, I don't know how.
Okay,
how
but why would
feasible.
they? Why would they? Because they have to keep. They also have to. They're not running only the server for their own state, for their own game, but also get all the stuff from all the other games. Why? Why would they do that?
Well, why do you keep the state for everything in Bitcoin that is not your own coins?
Because you need to know what all the other coins are in order to know what your coins even mean. Your coins only exist in the context of all the other coins.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah,
The whole point, the whole
as long
the whole
as the
po-
thing is not huge, as long as the thing is not huge, I think people will accept these trade-off in exchange for a decentralized registry of assets that is not controlled by anyone. I think that has a value. And also, people are running Ethereum nodes, right? So, whatever.
So what is it? How do you become a
What
miner?
about the name chain? The name chain, like the chain of names. You don't you don't care about that anymore. You just want a search engine. But
Yes.
but I
And
still
we
think
already
it's interesting.
we already had this discussion over like 3 podcasts, and the conclusion was just like search
But
engines.
people like the
kinda-
names, like even if they're completely useless, people like it. If you look at Nostr, for example, people go to some websites and like on Nostr you can just have a domain name and you point
Uh-huh.
it to your pub key, and like a normal DNS name, and people go to these websites and they pay to get their name on that domain. So it's like there's one called nostrplebs.com, which is the ugliest name. What do you think about this name, plebs?
No, it's right in this situation because they are plebs, right? It's digital feudalism.
No, it's
No,
horrible. It's
no, they
horrible.
don't own the
Yeah.
land. They don't own the server,
Oh, I
right?
see. Yeah, but I don't think that's what they meant with this name.
Oh, I'm
Anyway.
sure they're not smart enough to actually understand that what they're saying is correct, but maybe they are. But yeah, they don't own the land. It's their landlord that gives them their name. You are now Knight Bob. You're now Knight Bob of the Boblands. You now have a name.
So people, the point was that people like to have a pretty name
Mm-hmm.
and use that. Well, okay, I made my case. Let's go to the next topic. No, you ask other question. That's the worst game. That for pool.
Oh, this one. No, it was amazing though. But I was frustrated when he didn't repair. I was kind of confused.
I'm frustrated for the fact that Zug has so much more advantages and tricks and everything. Anything Zerg does is good. Doesn't
Nah.
matter. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. It's hard to play though. It's not easy to play Zerg. Artosis would argue that it's harder to play Terran, which I guess is also true.
Yeah. I think Terran is harder.
Yeah. Because it. Yeah, okay. You have to you're controlling your army is more difficult. Medic Marine is pretty intensive, and Mech is also not easy. But here, this point where it's like, just keep an SCV at the depot. Why don't you just keep one SCV at the motherfucking depot?
Did you think that
Yes.
at the time you were watching?
Yes, I was watching this and I was like, why the fuck are you pulling away your SCV? And then this happened and I was like screaming at the screen. I was so fucking frustrated. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? That was so fucking stupid. It's like you played like a fucking hero and then you fuck it up because you just couldn't leave an SCV at the fucking depot.
I would never have thought. That was the best part. The part when the guy.
Yeah, he just left up. It was dirty though. It was like a dirty win. It's like you're playing dirty, doing a 4 pool, then you almost lose to it, and then you actually win. It's like, yeah. Oh, this one was also funny. Ling getting in.
So, in other news,
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
What is the other news?
Not Bitcoin. Telegram was banned in Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, the Brazilian emperor required some data that Durov couldn't give him, so he banned Telegram. But weirdly, sometimes it works. How do they ban these things? Is they ask the ISPs to ban the IP? Or
I
something?
think so. I think they do ISP, maybe some deep package stuff. I don't. Maybe the signal communication
But
is.
they have to ban all the ISPs in the country, or do they ask just the big ones that route everything?
I guess that one. I mean, they banned websites over here. You can't go to RT, like Russian television. That's banned. It's also banned on Telegram. Funny enough, and stuff like the Pirate Bay stuff, you can't go there. But that's all on the ISP level. ISPs block it.
Okay.
It's like, why? Why are you doing this? It's so stupid. It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, my ISP is blocking a website. What am I gonna do? It's like fucking.
I don't understand. Dude. Why are you laughing? I don't understand the joke.
Because you can just use a VPN. It's like, it's so stupid.
Look at this
It's
part.
like,
Look at this part of the game. This part reminds me of some of the of the
This is
boxer
boxer level.
stuff.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
boxer play. I love this.
I was
Like-
watching a lot of boxer videos, and they all like this.
Yes,
Five
but
Marines, 3 Marines, and the 3 Marines never died.
Yes, right.
And they just kept walking, around the base, and kill
that's-
a drone, and they walk, and they walk more.
That's what I said last episode, or like two episodes ago. It's like if you just get a handful of units inside of a base, you can do amazing stuff if you just control them.
Yeah, you said that.
And they listened to
it's
me.
also-
They were like, "Damn, he's right. We should do that." Plus, it's way more entertaining if they do that.
So what you're saying about the VPN? No, you know that 99% of the people don't even know what a VPN is, right?
Yes, they think it's I don't know, privacy or security
they
or
don't
whatever
think,
the fucking
they don't
bullshit.
think they have never heard the name.
No,
Right.
I disagree because there is a lot of VPN commercials on the internet. Like all the YouTubers, they promote NordVPN, and they all sell it like it's secure and private and whatever. It's like, it's
Do you
fucking
use
bullshit.
that? Do you use that?
No, I just use there is a standard VPN in Opera, in the Opera browser, and I don't use
You
the Opera
use the-
browser for anything, only for the stuff that when I'm trying to download completely legal content from the Pirate Bay, but my government blocked it. I use the Opera VPN. It's really slow, but you know, I only have to go to one website, so.
I see. Well, so I was thinking that the Brazilian government was very bad, but your government is worse. You're blocking Pirate Bay. Wait.
Yep. Well, it's because of lawsuits. I think it's because of lawsuits done by content organizations. For music, I think, and maybe movies, but I think it's music mostly. And they're pissed off, so they wanted the Pirate Bay to be blocked. It's
No, but
funny.
Telegram has a proxy thing that is built in, and you can run these proxy servers, and they like it's specific to Telegram. I think you just send the messages encrypted to these things, and I don't know. It's apparently it's much lighter, much more lightweight than the VPNs, and you can run one of these. And I started running one of these, and yeah, but
So that's why you still have Telegram.
that's why I still have Telegram.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
What is amazing?
Nah, the fact
What
that
do you
the
think?
Telegram
what do you
is.
think JJ
Telegram
had
is,
to do this?
Hmm?
What do you think he had to do this time? The idea was to block the links with the SCV.
Oh yeah, his SCV got out of place. Because otherwise the SCV would have blocked the links at least to force them in one at a time, and at that speed, then if they come in single file, you can shoot them down really easy. I don't know what the idea was with this because like what bounds to end up happening is like that he just places a drone underneath it.
Yeah.
So it's but on the other hand, maybe the thinking is it's like I'm going to Starport Wraith anyway. I have no use for this factory whatsoever because I can't build a vulture because what the fuck's vulture gonna do? The vulture's not gonna do anything, right?
Yeah.
Because it cannot go up the ramp. So I think maybe that's the thinking, and this is just smart. Like, worst case, he takes away one drone for a time. Best case, he actually
That's
gets
a
to
very
land it.
weird-
Best case, he actually gets to land it, and then, you know, and he can distract he can distract him for a while because he just only has to click left or right or left or right, and the other guy has to frantically keep his drone underneath it.
It was very interesting.
So maybe I think
From left and right. and left
thinking
and
about
right.
it, this was actually very big brain.
But the problem was that when he made the vulture died instantly to the sunken.
Yeah, because he didn't even move it back. It was very weird. He just left it there, in the range of the sunken. I don't know what he was thinking. Also, I don't know why he just didn't stay there to like. Here, you could have attacked he could have attacked the sunken earlier, or the creep colony, but he didn't. And here, it's also. Why not go back to the base and kill? Maybe he was scared of the mutalisks. Okay, he still would have had time. You can only now the Scourge come in. So whatever. This was an amazing game. I loved it.
Yeah, but the Tasteless and Arctosis, they were all the time saying that the Zerg was dead, but the Zerg never left the game, and that reminded me of a game from like 2 seasons ago when they were talking about the Protoss guy being dead since the beginning. The game went on and went on. And the Protoss guy was always dead. He was dead until the final moment in which he won the game, and they were very surprised.
Yeah, I remember that one. Well, it's rough, right? I mean, you can actually, if somebody fucks up really well, really hard, and you do something really good, then things can change in your favor again. It's just the odds of that happening are just really, really, really slim. And if the other player was just a little bit more conservative, then that wouldn't have happened. But you know. So those were all the mutalisks. This was an interesting game. I was kind of confused that he didn't build a Valkyrie sooner.
He didn't build one ever, right?
I'm not sure.
For some
I'm
reason,
not sure.
some players don't like Valkyries, I guess.
Because it's like, okay, you're up against a whole bunch of mutalisks, so just get the one Valkyrie and then you dominate the space all of a sudden, because now the Valkyries can't actually afford to get close anymore.
It's hard to micro the Valkyrie. It's not useful against anything besides mutalisks.
Yeah, but you only have to get one. I don't know. Whatever. Can't even get out of his chair. He can press the keyboard like 500 times a second, but he cannot even get out of a chair. He normally doesn't have to get out of the chair. He just lives in the chair, pressing the keyboard 500 times a second. And now he's like, fuck, I won the game. Now I have to get out of the chair. Do you watch those pre-interview thingies?
The interviews, I don't. I watch the middle game. The thing that they do in the middle of the game sometimes, like this in the round of 4, they would have to draw on a shirt or something like that.
Oh yeah, go subscribe to Tasteless. Thanks for the video. No, I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm talking about the at the start of the event. They only do it at the round of 4 and at the finale, I think. When the announcer is in the middle and the guys, they're on stage and they're like trash talking each other.
Mm.
Yeah, you should watch that. It's funny. No, in the actual show.
Okay.
So you have these 2 autistic computer nerds.
Yeah,
these 2 introverted.
On the round of 24, I think they had those 4 guys in the chairs, and they trash talk each other sometimes. It's interesting.
Yeah, but it's like so. But here it's like normally you have like 2 fighters if they're going like fighting MMA or boxing or something. They have like a face-off, and this is like some sort of face-off only for introverted computer nerds. And then you have like so they are very low energy, and then you have this announcer guy in the middle who's like very high energy, is trying to make something out of it, and then it's like, and there's like oh, and then it's like, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? You're just gonna allow him to say that? What did you have to say about that? And it's like, no. That's so stupid.
Did they have the guy this time? Normally it's a woman.
It's the guy. Woman. No. The girl is for interviews and. No, but the guy is.
She presents everything. All the rounds.
No, she doesn't present everything. The guy presents the finale stuff. He's like the. He always does those. He always does this. Yes.
Maybe only in the round of 4. Because on the previous rounds, it's always the woman, and she interviews the guys on the beginning, then she interviews the winner,
Yes, but she's not good for like the oh snap stuff, right? That's the guy doing the guy's doing the guy's doing the rap battle.
What about that group? No, I never watched that fully. It's like 2 hours of the guys deciding who is going to be in which group.
Oh yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna watch that.
It's it's interesting. I think the things they say. But how are these things decided? Do you know? They pick each other, then they change groups. There's a lot of complexity.
Well, you just answered your own questions. Like that's how it's decided.
Yeah, but what are the rules? Like you can't be just. I want to be there, and you want to. Who decides? Yeah, I don't know.
Africa TV decides what the rules are.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, I lost. Oh, you're back.
Okay, I'm recording now.
You clicked record?
I am recording. Yes,
you are recording.
I am recording.
Okay,
yes,
that's
recording.
Good. Okay, so Jeff fucked up.
We should hire an editor, so you don't have to do these things. We can pay them like 50% of our profits.
I just spoke to a guy in some chat. He said he had 3,000 satoshis on LNTX bot. And I said, thank you for donating to my podcast. And then he was like, well, where can I listen to this podcast? And it's like, I'm telling you, you don't even want to listen to this podcast.
Are we going to publish this one on the Brood War channel on Reddit?
I don't know. It's up to you, man. You can... I mean, if you decide not to advertise it on Bitcoin Review, but are advertising it on the
I'm trying
StarCraft
to
Reddit...
get together for other audiences. Yeah. We're going to bring all the Brood War people to Bitcoin. That's the plan.
Yes.
And then Bitcoin will be successful. Because
we're going to bring the Brute War people to Bitcoin by having obscure discussions about like databases and
they're
linked
nerds,
list.
right? They play StarCraft.
Yes,
they have a chance of being interested in these things.
Yes, they have a very deep and intuitive understanding of distributed peer-to-peer systems.
No, they are nerds. That's what I'm saying. They don't have understanding, but they have a chance of being interested, and then they can learn. Did you watch that video that some YouTuber guy did about Flash being involved in a shitcoin scam?
Yeah, you shared it, and I
I know I shared it.
Yes,
I asked if you watched it.
Yes, so I watched it because I watch all the things that you share, Jeff, even though I might not immediately respond to the fact that you shared it.
I shared this one a month ago.
Yes, and I watched it.
What do you think about it?
I watched it while I was in my forest. I was doing stuff, and at the time I was like, I don't even understand what this is all about, and I'm having a hard time to recall.
Okay.
So there was this very rich guy who was starting some scam coin.
And apparently he was a neighbor of Flash.
And he was very good friends with Flash, who apparently is also very rich. And they're not rich because of playing competitive StarCraft. They're rich because they got famous playing competitive StarCraft and now doing streaming.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all so what about the accusations? So he's not coming back?
There's no accusations. There's just he's on the military. So apparently he can't communicate with his fans very much. He just sends written stuff. I don't know what. Yeah, when these people go to the military, they stay there like 2 years, and they don't even go home. They just be there, training for 2 years. Is that it?
Yeah, I think service is 2 years. That's right. But it's like
apparently the guy that Flash talked about the scam coin, like some Korean shitcoin that doesn't even render, doesn't even go to, it's not even on CoinMarketCap or anything like that. And apparently his fans bought the coin, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't say you should buy it. I just said I was going to," or something like that. But some people were angry with him. They're also angry with Bisu.
Mm-hmm.
Bisu was also an investor of this scam coin. Such very, very weird things. These Asian people, they're weird. Like, there's a bunch of Japanese people joining Nostr, and they are very weird people. I don't understand them. Like, they...
Well, maybe
apparently a
because
lot
they're
of
speaking
them-
Japanese. I mean,
Yeah, I don't understand, but I take whatever they say and I go based on Google Translate, and they're saying like poop, things like that.
What?
Yeah, they they love this.
What? They're posting notes like just poop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the guy made, you did. I don't know. A bunch of them apparently don't know English, don't speak English, don't understand English,
Mm-hmm.
but they are in this technological board and they like decentralized stuff and they're using Nostr, but they don't speak English, which is very weird to me.
Because the only way to use the internet is using English, or
No, but
what's the?
like they're early adopters of weird technology that is published in English, but they don't understand English. I don't know.
Oh, okay. From that perspective. So, how old is it, actually?
You mean what? Nostr?
Yeah.
Well, it got famous in December.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you made it 2 years before that, or something?
Yeah. 2
Yeah.
years before that.
Yeah. So, how early are they actually? Right. No. Okay. So in 4 months' time. Yeah. That is. I get that. That is kind of amazing. That it propagated all the way to those people. It's going global, man. It's interesting. What I do when I listen to the Bitcoin review, is it? Did it stop again? So we're not going to do this again. Fiat Jeff fucked up again. And I'm just going to tell what I thought.
No, it's
No.
back.
I can...
So,
Is it back?
we just lost some time. I just had to unplug the microphone again. So let's end it. Do you have another topic instead of you?
Yeah, I have another topic about the Bitcoin review. That my takeaway of listening to that conversation is like, you guys are just reinventing the whole fucking internet.
Thank you. That's a good compliment. No.
No, it's kind of stupid.
Okay, sorry. I
It's
know.
kinda-
I know you
so
meant,
it's like- so-
to say it was stupid, but why?
Okay.
Why do you think
yes.
it's stupid?
Okay, so very early on in the conversation, it was like, yeah, and how are we going to display this? And maybe we should have like something in the title in order to know how to display it properly. And all I'm thinking is like, okay, you fucks are just going to recreate the browser. You're just going to recreate the browser, and it's just a new type of internet. It's like, no, it's not the internet, it's the web, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to create a new web, and you're building browsers. That's what your fucks are doing.
Well,
It's so stupid.
I don't think it's stupid. I
Okay,
don't think it's stupid. But
Me neither. It's not necessarily stupid. It's good. I like it. But it's also just reflecting on it. It's like you having all these very rudimentary,
I
basic,
see.
fundamental conversation on how to do stuff that we've been doing for like
the
fucking long
being
time. Right?
rudimentary and basic is a feature, because if we had something like the browser, that would be a non-starter. It would be a completely impossible to implement, and wouldn't
Yes,
be
but
open
you-
enough for the goals of the thing. And also, there's a
Yes,
bunch.
but you realize that you're just going to devolve.
Yeah, I hope not, but
to becoming a browser.
I'm aware of that possibility, but I hope it doesn't happen.
Okay, so then the question is, because it is going to devolve to that, is it a better web?
Well, if you
Is it
if you
actually
do,
better?
If you do the public key stuff and it catches on, I think it would be better. The problem is how to make it catch on. One thing that I like.
So I get it. Okay, so we have to. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing
Okay,
that-
just go ahead and I'll do it later.
One thing that I think it's good I think it's a good sign is that these websites that you log in, they ask you to make giant passwords, and then you have to store the passwords on dedicated things that store the passwords. Otherwise, you're just a pariah on the internet, and you can lose your account all the time, and it's very shitty experience.
I don't know what you're talking about. You just get one password and use it for everything.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy, but it doesn't work because each website has a different requirement. Like one wants you to put letters, the other numbers, the other wants symbols. Yeah.
That's a variety of 5 maximum, right?
Okay.
So you have like five variations on your password. That's all you need.
Okay, but then you have the better argument that is, you lose all your accounts because the websites will leak your password, and then you lose all your accounts. It happened to me multiple times.
So they can leak it because they're having a bad salt. Is that it, or how can they leak it?
Well, they were storing it in plain text, or they were not salting it.
Really?
Well, any website, if you log into any website with the same password, one of these will be bad and store the thing in plain text, and then you just screw all the other ones.
It's funny to me.
What happened to you? You use the same password everywhere.
Yes, basically for like since ever. No, of course I have very good operational security. I use all kinds of fancy measures that.
Do you have a password on your Telegram?
You'll never know. I have the password on a post-it on my screen, so I don't forget it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, so I agree with the public-private key thing. That would be a good change. Does it scale from a infrastructure side using the how do you call those things? The servers, the
relays.
Does that actually scale?
I don't know. I think it does, but I don't know. How could I?
That's true. Okay,
I think it scales because it's very basic message sending.
Well, you can calculate it, right? You can calculate those things. There are computer scientist thingy formulas to calculate those things, right?
I don't know. I doubt. Because the real world usage can vary so much. Like depends very much on the implementation.
Yes, okay, but the point. Yeah. Yes, okay, but the point is that you. So let's say we have like 5 mega servers, which is like AWS, Google, right? It's those, right? Okay. So that's 5, and the entire. So those can manage each other, I guess. But then there are some fringe servers or relays.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind.
And yes, but how are they going to find? How is somebody else going to find stuff from the other relay?
Well, you point to them like when you. There's a variety of ways to do it. Like that's the fundamental.
Yes,
that's
but you
the
point to them.
Fundamental question of also, but. If you're only posting to your fringe relay that you're hosting on your home, whenever you're sharing your public key to other people, you include that address of your home relay with that.
Okay, but they're not. Yes, but they're not intrinsic to the node, right?
They're not intrinsic to the node, no. And also, like other people.
So if you just happen to,
for example, someone is replying to your node. You post it on your own relay. They can also take your note and post it elsewhere if they want. But suppose you're blocked on all the big ones, and someone is replying to you. Then the people that are following that person that replied, they will see the reply, and the reply will say, "Oh, I'm replying to this guy here," and the reply they can include
Okay, so let me give a prediction.
Okay.
Right. So because there's no global state,
No.
it will just evolve to 5 large relays.
Mm-hmm.
And on those 5 large relays, there's just going to be there's not even going to be 5 large relays. There's just going to be one relay. And that one relay is going to host. Nobody's going to use this. That's it's just going to devolve back to Facebook chain.
Well,
I'm not sure.
How is it going to devolve to Facebook chain if no one's going to use it?
Yes,
You're conflicting the true explanations.
Yes, because I was like thinking about more. It's like, okay, it's gonna fail there. I think it's ultimately going to fail because the fact that there is no global state. So what you're saying is like, if I reply to your node, if I make a reply to your node, it's not actually on my own relay. It might not be on your relay. So then we have forks on like the realities on
we don't have forks.
the
We don't have
posts.
forks. We just have a pointer.
Because because nobody's going to find these other relays, right?
They will
So what's
find
ever happening
that was
on
I'm
one
going to
side?
say. In the reply, we included the address of the relay where you found the note. So the person is reading your reply. They want to know what the hell you're replying to. So they connect to that. They fetch that post.
Yes, but they okay, maybe.
Yeah, it's not
Maybe.
it's not very exact or guaranteed. It's just a guess.
Yes, so that's the reason why I think it's ultimately going to fail, because it's not that I mind, right? But it's just from a user perspective, it's just too weird that these little quirky things can happen. That people are going to start to make these little hacks in order to that stuff doesn't happen. And those little hacks will just ultimately resolve back to it being Facebook chain.
Maybe.
I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here. I really like it.
What do you mean by
I
by
think
a
it's
hack,
cool,
an
but
interesting hack, a little hack? I'm okay with having like 1 or 2 or 5 big relays. That was kind of the plan. Like you have a big relay for all the shitty crap meme, whatever pleb posting their stuff, but the actual interesting stuff that's
who's going to host all that shit, dude?
well, Google. I don't know. Facebook, Google, all these things. No, you don't think?
But they're only doing that because they can make advertiser money. Or no, wait. They can get investment money based on the promise that they're getting advertiser money.
Yeah. I don't think.
So how's that gonna work?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, Google is not making money on Google Meet. It's not making money on Google Meet. Google Docs, for example, for the vast majority of people, they're not making any money.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it so people like their service, and then when they have a company with money from investors that they can spend carelessly, they can go there and buy the business version of the thing. So yeah, but I guess for social media it's just advertisements. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe the solution is just to have a bunch of small servers hosted by your friends and family.
Yes, but
that's the Mastodon promise. So, and
okay, I understand, but then the problem becomes if you get so many relays, how you're gonna find all the stuff. Okay, then you say, well, you just include the thing.
No, you connect
then
to the people.
you're
not following more than 500 people. No one can do that, right? And then you connect to, even if they have they're not in the same relays. Each one is hosting their own relay. You connect to 500 machines and fetch the posts, right? Can you do that? It would be like this would be the nerd paradise in which everybody runs their own server. So it's not going to happen, but if you have a server,
It is going to happen.
Server,
VHF, it is going to happen. Everybody is going to run their own Bitcoin node. You gotta believe.
I don't want that. I don't think it's important.
Fuck you. Fuck you. That's important. Everybody has to run their own Bitcoin node.
I don't know if you're serious.
It's so important that I haven't even run my Bitcoin node for how many fucking years anymore, but it's important, right? No, I am serious.
I only think it's important the possibility of running. If you can run,
I agree.
That's good. But if you can't run anymore.
But the point is, it's digital feudalism, right? This is an observation that I made many years ago. It's not about land in the physical realm as much as in the cyberspace. It's server capacity, right? That's the land. And if you don't own any of the land, then you're a little peasant bitch. And that wasn't necessarily a problem during the golden age of the internet. But, the investment running dry, interest rates are going up. It's time to close the barn and slaughter the sheep, right? They have to make their money back now, so it's not going to be that fun anymore. And the stupid fucking government is going to ban Telegram and websites and Pirate Bay and shit. It's just fun times over.
Well, I think these are good news for Nostr then. In the chaos,
yes, I think that's a very weird way of framing it. It's like the world's going to shit, and I have this little alternative. So it's very good that the world's going to shit for the sake of my little alternative here.
Isn't that what Bitcoiners do all the time?
Yes.
But the world is always going. It's always going to shit. But it's good when we have a solution, an alternative.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I hope there was some value here.
Yeah, maybe. We didn't look at that newsletter. There's nothing there, right? Ever. Okay.
Uptech. Yo, I looked at Uptech. And the last one was about the mempool P2P stuff, and we already discussed in an episode a while back.
Okay, so let's end this.
There is some stuff about the RGB. Do you follow RGB?
No. I tried many years ago. I didn't understand it.
So I thought I understood it, and then it was confusing, and then I'm like, okay, so now I'm like, I'll just wait till it's done.
Yeah. Well, I understand.
I don't care anymore.
But they claim so many things.
Yeah.
Well, you can do all the things they claim to do on the space chain. So.
Yes. Yes, you can do many magical things on Facebook chain.
That's not fair. That's not fair. But I'm not going to reply because we must end this. And okay. Can I just stop recording here?
No. I do have to. Honestly, I think it's. Where do you get the time? Where did you get the talent? Where did you get the talent in the first place? And then where did you get the time? And where do you get the motivation to do all this fucking stuff, dude?
Good question. I have no idea. I think it's like I don't have anything else to do in my life. I wish I could stop doing these things. Maybe I'm just wasting my life here, but am I? Well, I started doing Bitcoin nice things.
Well, you are wasting your life talking to me.
Yes, I know
right?
that. I should stop. But let me just answer this question and then I will stop. Well, I started doing Bitcoin things because I wanted Bitcoin to be successful in 2017 or 18 maybe. And I thought we are just on the brink of the hyper Bitcoinization. And I was so wrong about it. So I should have given up when I realized that we are still very far away. So maybe my efforts were completely in vain, because when the time that I didn't do anything for Bitcoin was just the same, just growing, and then I started doing things, hoping to make a difference, but I don't think I made any difference. No one is making any difference. Okay, you slept.
Okay, but that's into like let a thousand flowers bloom, whatever, in relation to Bitcoin. But then you also made Nostr, and that seems to hit it off. You made this stupid space chain in an afternoon or something.
No, it took a long time. I had to implement the shit, the AnyPrevout shit from scratch, and I had never touched any of the Bitcoin Core consensus low level code. But it was interesting. Should do. I don't know if my implementation is correct, by the way, but the transactions are valid, so I think it's correct.
No, I think it's amazing. It's also very commendable. Yeah, I'm amazed.
I should have a forest and just go to my forest. And
you can always come to my
no,
forest.
How can I go?
Yeah, you can.
It's
I
it's
have
so
a
far
forest. And you can come to yes. At least I have one. And you can come to my forest.
Okay.
It's easy, right? You can just come over. Jack Dorsey gave you a lot of money, so you rug pulled a bunch of people on LNTX Byte. You got plenty of money to come
That's
over
true.
here.
That's true. I have money. What do I
There's,
need to enter the Netherlands? Just say my name. Hello, I'm here to see Constant. Yeah. Constant has invited me.
I'm going to his
I'm
forest.
going to his.
Come to. Are you going to Bitcoin Amsterdam?
Of course not. I'm not a depraved
It's in October.
person. I'm not going to Amsterdam.
Why not? Okay, that's fair enough. I commend that.
You don't live in Amsterdam.
I commend that. I don't live in Amsterdam. I live in the antagonist city of Amsterdam. Which is not Amsterdam.
The only other city.
The only other city that's.
What is Holland?
Yeah.
What
so
is Holland?
well.
And what
so
are
I
the
couldn't.
Netherlands?
Okay, so Holland is from Holtland, which basically means woodlands. So it was forest. We are a river delta, and we have very swampy lands and trees. Particular trees grow well here.
Your country by that name, something that looks like Holland.
We call it lowlands.
Okay.
So Nederland.
Okay.
And Holland is it's two provinces now, but it's the region near the coast. And so there's North and South Holland, and those are two provinces. And that region is called Holland. And there are other regions as well. So there's Friesland, it's in the north, and also next to the coast. So yeah, there are a bunch of regions.
But why
and Holland
was
is
the country,
it's just a region.
Country known as Holland?
Because it's the region near the coast where most of the economic activity went down. So that's why. That's where the ports are. Like the port of Amsterdam and the port of Rotterdam
in
are in
Portuguese
Holland.
we call it Holland.
So all the
in Portuguese people call it Holland still to this day. Although the media has been telling us to call it lowlands, low countries, but I think normal people still call it Holland.
Who cares, man?
I care. I think Holland is a nicer name.
Yeah, but it's just a region. But the reason is probably because of the fact that all the international contacts were with Holland, as opposed to necessarily the rest of the country.
1,000 years ago.
That's a little bit long ago.
Yeah, I guess 100 years ago maybe. When we didn't have the internet.
That's a bit short. That's a bit short. there's a lot of space between 1,000 and it's fascinating history, man. It's the start of start of the modern world. Is here in this country.
Okay.
And
What
a
is-
little
what
bit
is
of England
Flanders?
and a little bit of whatever. So that's the region and in the south, and it's the northern part of Belgium.
Mm.
So you have the northern part of Belgium; those are like Dutch people, and then you have the southern part of Belgium, and those are like retarded, even more retarded French people. And
What is Belgium?
apparently, Belgium is the buffer state between the Germanic North and the idiot French. And if we were to remove Belgium, we would no longer have a buffer state, and then we would have World War
I
III
see.
in order to finally eradicate the French.
Do you hate the French?
Well, if I'm nuanced on the situation, I would say we only had to do one tactical nuke on Paris,
Yeah.
and that would actually solve the situation, and that would liberate all the other people in that country from Paris and Parisians. So that would be my position.
I agree.
But as long as Paris is there, it's like they're part of it. So in order to liberate those people, we'd have to nuke Paris, and then we still have the questions like, what are we gonna do with them? I don't know what we would do with them, because the problem with France is like they're not with anyone, right? I mean, they're not Northern Europe. They're not Southern Europe. They're not like Iberian. They're not like, who are they gonna? They're not really Mediterranean. So yeah, so they're their own thing, and that's why they're also very annoying.
Okay.
But, you know,
Yeah. I see. I also find them very annoying.
because they are, and they also have very retarded ideas that they infect the world with. So yeah, the French. So to everybody who's French, and not from Paris, maybe one day we'll liberate you. You can't join our Germanic Brotherhood of Nations, I'm afraid. Once we're going to set that up, but yeah, I mean most of the stuff with the EU is like the problem that France is there, right?
Mm.
It's like it's the capital is the stuff is in Brussels, but it's not just in Brussels. It's also in Strasbourg. Why is it also except because of the fucking French? They couldn't handle it just being like Brussels. No, it also has to be like Strasbourg. The problem is
Strasbourg was supposed
called
to be Germany, right?
German. Exactly. It's in the fucking name. It's like that isn't even your country. You should give it back. But you know. They also fuck up Luxembourg. They do exactly the same thing. They speak French in Luxembourg now. If you go to the shop, they speak French. Like, why?
When did they start to?
The people there don't. The people don't speak French. They speak Luxembourgish and like German. And now they're also forced to learn French because they've been invaded by the bullshit. But you know,
I see.
and a lot of Portuguese, by the way.
In Luxembourg?
Yep,
Why?
that's the underclass.
You mean Portuguese people from Portugal?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the working underclass. It's a very, very strange country. Well, it's very small. It's more like a city-state. It's a very strange city-state because there's barely any middle class. I guess the only middle class that there are there is like the original Luxembourgish population, which has been like bought off. It's like, okay, we're going to put all the mega corporations and the international blah blah stuff and headquarters and bullshit. We'll do it over here. We'll give you very low taxes and pump in a bunch of money, and all the people living there, they are now well off. But it's not a lot of them. And then there are a lot of rich people, and in order to facilitate everything, they import people from Portugal, and they don't even live there. They live in France. and they drive into the country in order to do the cleaning, and then they leave again.
Interesting. And what do you do there?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
do I do there? I don't do
Why
anything
did you
there.
went there? Did you go there?
Oh, I have family
Oh,
that lives
nice.
there.
What about that smaller country, Liechtenstein?
Liechtenstein.
Yeah, that.
That is a real city. Isn't there some there's some nobleman there? King.
you
dude,
never
he's
went
not
there.
a king.
Yeah.
No.
I can't even find it on the map.
Well, maybe I've been there. No, I can't recall being there.
Okay, can we? You should
Anyway,
stop.
any
you
other
should
thing?
Stop. This is the largest, biggest episode ever.
Yeah, so we had this very nice ending with talking about you and your accomplishments and the fact that you're a very industrious
I don't
person
know why
and
you. I
talented.
don't
and
know why you're doing
all
this.
this stuff. And
Don't do this to me.
yes, and we had that ending. It was very nice, and then I had to do my rant about the French.
Oh, I think that was much better. I I had never heard such a good rant about the French. I thought I was the only person who completely hated.
I wasn't even
hated
ranting about the
people.
French. No, everybody hates the
Not
French.
here. Not in the other. Well,
Really?
I had never seen such hatred of such good quality. All right, bye.